How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing now? You guys all right? You're still here. Man, you must like Spanish. You're back for more. Congratulations. That's a good sign. All right. So what do we have here? We have the last two irregular verbs of the chapter. Okay? There's quite a few more out there. Don't get me wrong. But for right now, if you can remember the few video segments that we've been going through today, that's one good thing for yourself. Congratulations. If you can. Now if you can't, try harder. Here's what you got. Decir. Repeat after me. Decir. Good job. Decir means to tell or to say. Very good. Now the other one that you got here is traer. Repeat after me. Traer. T-R-A-E-R. Okay? Now let's go back to decir. Decir. D-E-C-I-R. Right up here. Okay? Traer. T-R-A-E-R. Very good. As you can see, the crazy thing about those two verbs, there's something crazy about them. One is an IR verb, the other one is an ER verb. So what? They're still irregular. So even though they don't look alike, they're going to have very much the same changes happening to themselves. Okay? You're going to have the JE going all the way through. You see? Repeat after me. Yo dije. I said. Okay? Tu dijiste. I want to hear that J sound. Tu dijiste. You said. Él, ella, dijo. He or she said. Nosotros dijimos. We said. Vosotros dijisteis. You all say. And finally, the third person plural is going to be they said, which is going to be ellos, ellas, dijeron. Are we good with that? Good. Now look, let's go for traer. Traer is going to be, all right, first person singular, the yo form. Let's go. Yo traje. Of course, I brought. Okay? Tu trajiste. Still, I want to hear the J sound. Don't spit on anyone now, okay? Take it easy. I just back off, practice. Jota, jota. Okay, traje, trajiste. Very good. Third one, third person singular. Él, ella, trajo. He or she brought. First person plural is going to be nosotros trajimos. We brought. The second person plural is going to be vosotros trajisteis. You all brought. And the third plural is going to be ellos, ellas, trajeron. So likewise, if you look carefully at those guys, the third person plural, you don't see the I-E-R-O-N endings. This ending is very common for the third person plural in Spanish, in the simple past. But here you don't see it. It's simply going to be an E, okay? Now likewise, you're going to have to remember the fact that you're going to have a J showing up here with both verbs, okay? Of course in English, okay, I'm going to say it again, the spellings remain the same, say it, okay? Brought, fine, but not in Spanish. Spanish, you got to be very careful, okay? You're going to have to come up with that J right here. Traje, trajiste, trajo, trajimos, trajisteis, trajeron. Of course, each ending is a different ending, it's a different spelling for every subject. So likewise, in this segment as well, with those two verbs right here, you do not have to use the subject pronouns. Not needed. But if you want to add precision, which I advise you to do so, especially if you have to write an essay, go for it, okay? There's nothing wrong with looking good when you write an essay, because whatever you're going to write is going to reflect who you are. Now, if you can show that you know how to write, it's going to mean to the reader that you know how to think, okay? It goes together. Now, don't think too much. Remember, you've got to remember those guys. Memorization. Okay, likewise, look at this. Yo dije, okay, with a J. Yo dijiste, dijo, dijimos, dijisteis, dijeron. So in Spanish, between those two verbs, whether you say decir or traer, you're really going to have the same situation. It's up to you to remember the meanings of those verbs. You understand me? Now listen, before we go today, whatever time it is, where you're at, okay? I'm going to take my Spanish book, and I'm going to do just like in class, and I'm going to review all those irregular verbs from those different segments that we went through today. Alright, do not go anywhere, I'll be right back. Let me go grab my book, okay? Meanwhile, you can look at the board and enjoy it. Hang on. Okay, so here we are. Okay? So here what I've got in my hand here is just the basic, the infinitives with all those verbs that we've been talking about today, okay? So now I'm going to go through every single one of them with you and me now. All right, you ready? Andar, to walk. Let's do it. Anduve, anduviste, anduvo, anduvimos, anduvisteis, anduvieron. Note my pace, I'm moving it. By now you should have it. Let's go for estar, same deal. All right, to be. Estuve, estuviste, estuvo, estuvimos, estuvisteis, estuvieron. I'm not looking at the board, it's all in my head. Like I said, it's a reflex, you have to feel it, okay? Let's go ahead. Let's go for tener, very much alike, to have. Tuve, tuviste, tuvo, tuvimos, tuvisteis, tuvieron. That's excellent. That was the first little family we had there. Keep them together, okay? Then we had poner, poder, and querer. Poder, to be able to, remember? Repeat after me. Pude, pudiste, pudo, pudimos, pudisteis, pudieron. If I'm too fast, you're too slow. So you need to practice and get even with me, because you are in Spanish 2. If you're reading this material now, this is Spanish 2 material. You've got to get the pace, you got to get the speed going here. If you think this is fast, it's actually slow. So think again, follow me. All right, poner, to put. Let's go. Puse, pusiste, puso, pusimos, pusisteis, pusieron. Very good. Then, of course, we had the verb to want, which is querer. Repeat after me. Quise, quisiste, quiso, quisimos, quisisteis, quisieron. Okay. And then, if I'm not mistaken, we went into the verb venir and the verb saber as well. Okay. Now, saber means to know what? Something factual, the knowledge. So repeat after me. Saber in the simple past, irregular as it is. Supe, supiste, supo, supimos, supisteis, supieron. You got it. This is excelente. Now let's go for venir, to come. Vine, viniste, vino, vinimos, vinisteis, vinieron. You got it. Remember them. Let's go for traducir, conducir, and producir. Like I said, this is a review of all the segments we've seen. Okay. All right. Conducir, to drive. Conduje, condujiste, condujo, condujimos, condujisteis, condujeron. Now let's go for producir, to produce. Let's go, guys. Come on. All right. Produje, produjiste, produjo, produjimos, produjisteis, produjeron. Excelente. Let's go for traducir. Remember my job? I translate for a living. I translate so that you can understand me, so that I can understand you. This is the French guy right here who teaches Spanish in English. Excuse me, in American English. So let's go. And I don't want to hear any Spanglish here, okay? So traducir, loud and proud, like you used to. Let's go. Traduje, tradujiste, tradujo, tradujimos, tradujisteis, tradujeron. We've seen a lot of verbs today, I'm telling you. Let's go for decir, to tell, to say. Dije, dijiste, dijo, dijimos, dijisteis, dijeron. That's very good. Let's go for traer. I want to hear everybody here. If you get your head down, you better put it up before I get to you, because you're not going to like me. All right, let's go. Traje, trajiste, heads up. Trajo, trajimos, trajisteis, trajeron. You need to get some rest, okay? Very good. You definitely need to get some rest now, because this has been a very heavy lecture. The problem that you guys are going to run into now is the process of memorization. There's no mystery. Whatever you do, when it comes down to the knowledge, it's not like you can take a program, a computer program, and swallow it and you got it. You got to practice. You got to look at it with your eyes, of course, and you have to hear it, and you have to use your mouth and say it. If you forget to do those 3 principles with a foreign language, you are what I call, you are actually chasing smoke. Now, I don't know about you, but that's not a fun thing to do, because you know what? Chasing smoke is going to take you nowhere. You're never going to catch it. So be real, have your feet on the ground, and sit down and go through those verbs as many times as you have to until you know them. Don't pretend, go for it. Now I want to thank you so very much for your attention. Adios.